Hi, today I'm here to show you an easy bronze smoky eye. It's for someone who has not too much of time to get ready, but it still looks glamorous and you can also carry it off for an evening event or a night event. If you choose to do a little less intensity, then you can also use it during the day. Starting off with putting a little bit of a lip balm. I've already done my base. I'm using the Tinge lip balm in Unred. It's a beautiful pink and just gives a tinge of color. I like to moisturize my lips before because it really soaks in while I'm doing the rest of my makeup, and it's nice and soft and prepped for the lipstick at the end. Now, starting with the eye, I'm going to be using the Tinge palette in its Singapore La, and I'm going to use the first one here, which is the eyeshadow base. So starting with my ring finger, I'm going to take the eyeshadow base with my finger and I'm going to apply it on my eyelid. After that, I'm going to use the Hamlet brown eye pencil and I'm going to gently tug on my eye here. It's a scribbling motion up and down, and it goes thinner towards the inner corner of the eye. So it doesn't really have to be neat also, because the thing is we're going to smudge it out and we're going to create flow in it. Now, smoky means no structure. So try and not do an eyeliner. Try and keep it smoky, darker towards the lash line and lighter as it diffuses. So towards the brow, it diffuses. You can use a fluffy brush and gently blend it out towards the corner. If you see, I have hooded eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not take it in my natural crease line. I'm going to take it a little higher than my crease line, just below my brow. I'm going to use Hamlet, the eye pencil, as the contour itself for the eye and a little above my natural line. What happens with this is it also makes the eye look a lot larger. And I have a lot of clients that tell me that it's quite difficult to see the eyeshadow and the work that they've done after they open the eye. By doing this, it'll definitely help. So you can see the marking is just above my natural crease line. And I'm diffusing that line. Now make sure when you're doing this, it's with an absolute matte pencil or matte eyeshadow. If you use shine, it's going to reflect off light, making it look larger. So if you look at the difference between this and this part will look a lot more pushed back compared to this part here. So this creates the illusion that it's more pushed back. If you want to make it more pushed back, add a little more depth. Okay, so that's your contour part. And I'm going to take the brown eyeshadow in the palette, this one, just on the tip of the same brush. And I'm going to apply it to the end of the eye here. Now the tinge eyeshadows are very, very pigmented, so you need just a little bit, just a tinge to get an effect. If you can see, I'm diffusing out that line again. So if you compare this eye to this eye, you'll see a lift. You'll also see this part being pushed back compared to this part. Also, it looks a lot less heavier and also pushes back this heavy part. I'm going to take the Dark Knight eye pencil and create a lot more depth towards the outer corner. Now this is to make sure that you get a smoke look. So if you look at a bonfire, right, you have depth at the base, which is the smoke, which is a dark black, and as it goes upwards, it diffuses into a gray. Again, I'm using the same brush and I'm going to diffuse the product into the brown. It's important that you create this layer for the smoky look. If you don't create the base, which is the brown first and then the black, you won't get the effect of smoke. When it comes to the corner, what you can do is gently flick out, and whatever's on your brush will give you that deflected look. Then use a flat brush. I'm going to use the same bronze eyeshadow here. I'm going to pick it up with the flat brush. You can see how much I've got on my brush. And I'm going to start from top and pull downwards towards the lash line. I'm going to take more and add more as it goes. That way, if there's less product, you can always add more. If there's too much of product, you can't really reduce it. So it's literally in the middle of the eye and in the inner corner of the eye. I'm then going to use this eyeshadow to brighten up the inner corner. Now, the people who have a lot more close set eyes, where the eyes are closer to the nose, I would suggest you put the brighter color on the inner corner of the eye. If you have further set eyes where your eye is a little further away from your nose, I wouldn't suggest this because it will give the illusion that it's further away from your nose. So if you see the illusion between this eye and this eye, this one will look a little further away from the nose compared to this one. I'm using the same eyeshadow as a highlighter. And I'm going to finish off with a beautiful bronze glitter. Now I'm going to be using the Sentosa Island Gold Glitter. Now you can use this if you want to give a beautiful glam look. So I've taken it on my ring finger. I'm going to place it in the middle of my eye here. It's a pat, it's a firm motion, and towards the inner corner of my eye. I'm not going to be touching the outer corner of my eye. So when you open your eye, it reflects off light. Again, if you want a little more, you can go ahead and put it. You can see the effect of how the eyelid opens up and looks much larger on this side compared to this side. This is because it's reflecting off light. To add more depth, I'm going to add the Dark Knight Kajal pencil just at the base. And I'm going to take the flat brush that we used for the eyeshadow and using it flat this way and not this way because the ferrule is a lot more flatter here. I'm going to diffuse that line. After which, I'm going to apply my mascara. When you're doing your mascara also, I would suggest that you use it only from the base upwards rather than from the top of the lash. I like doing my mascara this way only because I feel that the weight of the product pushes the lashes down. Whereas if you put it from down to up, then it keeps it up that way. So you can use this part of the eye maybe for a day event, maybe if you're going for a little bit of a glamorous, like a wedding or a sangeet or something that's really subtle. Now, if you want to go darker with this, I would suggest you do the bottom part of the eye. When you do the bottom part of the eye and create depth, which is your kajal, then your eye will definitely open up and look much larger than the other one. Now you can already see the size of this eye compared to this eye. So this has already created depth, opening up the eye. And now we're going to create more depth by adding it to the base. I'm taking the Hamlet eye pencil. I'm going to add the kajal on the base of waterline towards the inner corner. And when I come to the corner out here, I'm going to bring the kajal out a little bit, just very slightly. I'm not going to bring the kajal out here in the middle, nor am I going to bring it out toward the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to use the same brush that I use for the eyeshadow, which is flat. And I'm going to blend this out very gently, creating depth towards the outer corner. What this also does is it creates the illusion of length. Now you can see that this eye has become longer and larger compared to this eye. I'm going to use Dark Knight now, just on the outer corner of the eye. Using the same brush, I'm going to blend that in. These Kajal pencils are great because it has super playtime and it doesn't dry very fast. So you have time for it to move with the brush before it completely dries out and stays that way. Very gently, I'm going to diffuse the kajal towards the inner corner of the eye. This happens only if you put the lightest amount of pressure. If you put a lot of pressure, you're not going to get this sort of effect, nor are you going to get a good blend. And there we have it. To finish off the look, I'm going to be using Caffeinated Multi-Shade Stick. Caffeinated Multi-Shade Stick is excellent because the thing is you can use it as a blush. So you can see how lovely and light it is. Use your fingers because it warms up better with the body heat this way. I want point of focus to be eye right now. So the thing is I'm going to keep the lips and the cheeks very, very subtle.